dear friends, Camilla here. Welcome to another card making video on my YouTube channel and blog. On this card, I'm using Newton's Nook, a beautiful blizzard stamp set, and I will be working on vellum. This time maybe a little bit early, but I have for you a winter/Christmas card. I find myself making Christmas cards last minute every year, so this year I decided I'm gonna start early. Anybody else on board? So as you can see, I am using Versamark ink to stamp all my beautiful snowflakes on the vellum. I first use my powder tool to remove all the static from the vellum, and after I will heat emboss it using Wow opaque white embossing powder. I must say this stamp set is one of my very favorite of snowflakes. I really love the design and how intricate every snowflake is, and I think it will look really beautiful on that vellum. And whether you stamp it in white or silver, it will always look gorgeous. I just love all those little details. So I will be stamping out all the snowflakes all around the vellum, and I'll catch up with you when that's done and heat embossed. I don't know if you noticed, but I cut down the part where I'm stamping all the snowflakes since you couldn't see anything anyway, and so now we are at the part where I'm adding the Wow embossing powder, and now you can see all the beautiful snowflakes appear. And after my card front was heat embossed, I took a standard card size Nina Solar White cardstock. It's a smooth cardstock, and I will be blending the ink. At first I started with tumbled glass, but I quickly realized you won't be even able to see it, so if you're recreating the card you might as well skip that. And then I went on to Salty Ocean and Mermaid Lagoon, the new blue distressing that I got recently, and I love it. It is so gorgeous, I cannot stop looking at it. And I think it looks really beautiful as kind of a frosty blue, perfect for a background for snowflakes in this case. So I'm gonna blend all the ink all over this cardstock. I guess if you're creating your own, you might as well just use a Mermaid Lagoon, because as you will see later, I did something a little different than what I just showed you now. I will not be putting the vellum piece on top of this blended background, but I will be using this blended background as a layer piece. So I wanted that beautiful Mermaid Lagoon color to stick out on the edges. So later on I will cut down the vellum piece to be a little smaller, and I'll layer the blue, white and vellum together. So now I decided that it would be really cool to actually blend the vellum using the distressing, and I thought that looked pretty cool. So I took the vellum piece I already created with the embossing, and I blended the ink. I blended the ink on the side where the embossing was, because I wanted to turn it upside down anyway, so that it is not smudged when somebody's touching the card. If you would like the embossing to be on top of your card, I would suggest you blend the ink at the back, because it dries a long time, and even after it's dry it kind of still smudges, so it's best to hide it as best as you can. So now I will be layering all the pieces. I might have skipped a little bit here, but I'm basically having a white card base, then I'm gonna layer flat my Mermaid Lagoon piece, then I'm gonna add a slightly smaller white piece of cardstock, and then on top I will lay the vellum snowflake piece upside down, so that the embossing is on the inner side, and that way it actually looks a little thicker, but still beautiful, I think. And if you ever worked with vellum, you know that it is practically impossible to hide any adhesive behind it. So what I did, I took the Tumble Mono liquid glue and dabbed it in all the spaces in the areas where the embossing was, so that it wouldn't be visible when you turn it around. And I thought that worked pretty cool. I don't think I've seen any glue peeking out. And for the sentiment, I used Boughs and Holly by Lawn Fawn and this sentiment Merry Christmas, and I stamped it in Onyx Black VersaFine ink. I stamped it on a piece of white cardstock, which I later, after I stamped it, cut down to size, and simply adhered it on the front of my card. To make it stand out a little bit, I cut some fishtails on both sides, and then I used some foam squares to adhere it to the top of my card. And that was all for today. I hope you enjoyed this quick technique for a Christmas card in fall. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great and crafty day. Bye!